It's time for show and tell. So I'm going to talk through Summer Streets, Queens 2026 that we just went on this bike ride and tell you about it while you're watching the entire thing. We did all of the Queens one. Let's get going. Okay, so I'm just going to follow the path of this Summer Street thing. Here we go. All right. So we started from the 35th Avenue side, 33rd Street. It went to 44th Drive. So let me tell you a little bit about where we are. This is Queens, but it's called Long Island City, and Long Island is a whole nother place. The weirdest part of it is that Long Island City is the furthest away from Long Island and the closest to Manhattan. But look at that to the right. Isn't it so beautiful? To the left, there's some of those, every festival, every street fair has those booths. We'll show you that stuff at the end of the video. So, first of all, I didn't understand what's happening here and where I'm supposed to be. So we've ridden this trip a lot because we used to live around here. So these streets are actually pretty familiar to us. What was not familiar is Summer Streets is when New York City closes the streets to cars. So I forgot that also means pedestrians are allowed to walk in the middle of the street as well, which sounds really cool, and it has been. We've done the Manhattan one. I actually didn't know that they had specific borough ones. We took advantage of the Queens one because we live in Queens. We don't have to go all the way into Manhattan to enjoy the Summer Street idea. So again, the Summer Street idea is they close down the streets to cars, but I want to listen in to these guys because they were so confusing. A lot of it was confusing. Let's listen in.
Yeah, but you still gotta be around, buses. That's how I always stress.
What? Let's go. What happened? Oh.
I don't know who they're getting their signals from. But watch this.
Oh. No, they.
I was saying, yeah.
And there's a cop. Okay. And cop in the back. Oh, this is Gantry Park on the right. Pretty cool, kind of artsy-fartsy park. Mm-hmm. That's not Gantry? Am I wrong about that? What? Socrates.
All right, guys, just stay here.
That's right.
Stay here, right.
And yes, it is an artsy-fartsy. I called it the wrong park. Okay, so did you notice that those, I don't know if they're volunteers or workers or whatever, one was telling one side of traffic to go, the other was telling the other way to go, and I laughed both here and on my bike.
Nice to meet you, bro. Hope to see you again. Yes, sir. You too.
Sounds like a video game, right? So this is our first time doing it. Xerxes hooked me up with this hole to watch things from. Now, if you notice, it says bike on the right and pedestrian on the left. So that's what I was saying about these summer streets. By the way, this is Costco. And the people who just wanted to do their Costco shopping today, that day, what a pain in the butt. But anyway, so they said bike on the right, pedestrian on the left, but look closely and you'll see this is a bike lane. This is a lane. There's a lane next to that on my left, and then there's cones separating another lane. So there are 3 lanes. So what happens in the middle? Is the middle the pedestrians? Because they were all over both sides. I don't think anybody knew where to go. And also you could see this is a really nice part on the right. It's actually not an artsy-fartsy park. It's such a good park. It has all the picnic tables you need. It's right on the water. People have barbecues on the weekend there. It's completely packed usually on the weekend. I wonder if this affected it because you kind of have to drive up with all your barbecue stuff. in order to have a barbecue in places like this. So anyway, as I was saying, where are pedestrians going here? Because what you could see here is 2 lanes. I'm in the right lane of this lane. This is what we normally see when we bike Vernon all the way from the Pulaski and through the Queensboro. All of this always has a 2-way bike lane, and it's been great. This day actually was more annoying because nobody knew what side to be on. I ended up just staying in my regular lane that I would normally ride, whether the streets were closed or not. But now I'm navigating little kids who are in the road. See, the runners are all the way on the left, not in the center. I still, even after all of this, we even came back the other way later. I still don't know exactly where everybody's supposed to be. And they keep along the way saying like bikes to the right, people to the left. And then I think, oh, it's going to become clearer or make more sense. And it just doesn't. But look at these actual indicated bike lanes. They're so good, and they exist in this part of Long Island City. I'll see like kids in the road because the streets are closed to them also, but you know, where are we supposed to be? Anyway, Long Island City is pretty cool because it's just over the bridge from Manhattan and just over the bridge from Brooklyn, and it made a pretty fun modern part of Brooklyn that also used to be like Long Island City, like abandoned, industrial, a lot of sex workers at night, actual pimps like how we see in the movies. And then it's changed to apartments are millions and millions of dollars here now. Now here we're stopping for another light. It turned green, so that's why I went. But both times, or maybe 3 times that I stopped, I would normally stop on this route. This route is pretty smooth. There's not a lot of lights. And those 2 are like that was a bridge to Roosevelt Island. And the other one was Costco. So you're always stopping at Costco. But look at this, open road usually. And yes, there are usually cars on that center lane. But look how separated you get to be from the traffic. It's a really nice ride in general. Like I said, it's Vernon. And at the end where we're going to be close to the Pulaski Bridge, which takes you right over to Greenpoint and then Williamsburg, Brooklyn, which you might have heard of because that area exploded. Millions and millions of dollars for apartments. You're renting for like $3,000 for like a studio in some of those areas, but you have everything available. Same with this. This still looks industrial, but like I said, we lived pretty close to here. So when you're coming out to here, this is why I thought it was also not such a great spot to put this in, not a special spot, because this spot is already special. People don't really come out this far when you're in Long Island City to drive. Not really. So there's not a lot of traffic here usually. There's not a lot of bike riders here. There's not a lot of pedestrians. There's never a clog. I'm never thinking like, oh, I hope we get better, like more available bike lanes in Long Island City on Vernon Boulevard. So that's a shame in terms of like the whole idea of them shutting down the streets. I think it actually made it more dangerous. It's funny that we hear an emergency vehicle as I'm saying it made it more dangerous. And by the way, nobody lets emergency vehicles in New York go. It is, and Philly it was the same. Here, you know, again, open road, so it's completely fine. But I've seen things where I'm like, wow, really nobody cares. Look at this fantastic park for kids to the right. Again, this area was not what we're looking at right now. I'm so surprised that there are bike lanes here. Here's another rest stop that's happening over on the left. We're going to check those out at the end of the video as well, just to show everything that happened. And coming up, we're coming to the 59th Street Bridge, otherwise known as the Queensboro Bridge. If you heard any of Nas's song, he says Queensbridge a lot because he lived in this neighborhood growing up. And as you can hear from and now it's not exactly here on Vernon, it was closer in, but I don't know exactly where he lived, but this is the general area. Queensbridge is this bridge that we're coming up right now. And as you can hear in his songs, it wasn't this beautiful park and bike lanes and protected roads. And look at the city bikes to the right of us. Like, even when those the shared bike system started in New York, they still weren't out in Queens, you know? And Long Island City is just over the Queensboro Bridge, so you're that close. But it had to like trickle out more and more into Queens. It might have been in one neighborhood in Queens right away, but like the fact that they're so available in the quote outer boroughs, which is like anything outside of Manhattan. Look at all the different languages we hear along the way. So, but again, look how beautiful. Yes, the roads. What? More languages. Yeah, the roads need to be paved again. Like that's how long. And I can't believe that these bike lanes have been around so long that I'm saying things like they need to be repaved. Because to me, this is still so new. The fact that this area is so full of people with high finance. There's still government buildings here. What do you call those? What are the government buildings called? Like low housing and stuff. Yeah, I can't really hear. But like, and then there's also, you know, power plants and stuff, and there's still buildings with graffiti on the wall. But there used to be, you know, all kinds of graffiti art here. This is where that giant building was completely covered that got taken down, that people were very upset by. But now it's joggers, protected bike lanes, parks. It is an amazing ride. Now here's another thing. Trying to listen in. 33rd to 45th sounds like a very short ride. This is a mile and a half. It's not that long, but in Queens, and I think this happens in a few other boroughs, but it happens so much in Queens, you have not just, this is 33rd Road. The next road could still be 33rd, and it'll be 33rd Avenue, 33rd Drive. And so every number has like 2, 3, sometimes 4 streets. So when you're talking about a difference between 33rd and 44th, it could be something like this, which is a mile and a half. I think we're coming to the end of this. Yeah. And as we come to the end, you know, I stopped, and then Xerxes pulled up, and he's like, all right, let's keep going. We were going to film the whole thing. I was like, believe it or not, this is the end. Again, no indication. Here, right at the end of this block is the end. These people are going to cross over, I remember.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So look, there's no indication like, oh, that's the end, you know. But here we're hopping to those booths. These are the rest stops.
And you joined our Instagram already, right? Okay.
I think you could see like it's the regular usual booths basically, maybe a little more bike oriented, maybe a little more health oriented, health quote unquote. Look, a break dancer you could see right here. Am I doing it right? And I think generally people were in such a positive space. Like normally you could see dancing on the street and people just walking by as if nothing's happening. So this is a very, those one-wheelers, do those bug you out, you guys? They're very confident. The other day I was on the bridge and one of them passed me. No, not on the bridge. I was on Queens Boulevard. Passed me so quickly. He was going faster than the cars. And I think the cars were, they can go 30 miles an hour. So confident. And look at this, we get to see other dancing. Other quote unquote, because I don't want to make a mistake exactly where it's from. I wonder if this is a popular song and we just don't know it. There's Xerxes, hi! And I peek in the crowd here with my bike. So the camera's on the bike. I wanted to see how that would work out. This is our first time doing it. How pretty is that? All you gotta do is like swing scarves and you're halfway there. It's so nice. Oh yeah, and on the speaker somebody's phone went off.
Somebody called.
Did you hear? Somebody said somebody called. And how cute is this, learning rollerblading? Used to love rollerblading. When I rollerbladed, it was in the 90s, and there were no protected lanes. So I was riding with the cars, just like every other rollerblader, bike rider, scooter. There weren't a lot of scooters. That's pretty new. I mean, there were a couple, but it was mostly inline skaters like moi. Biking is a lot faster. I mean, we don't even have a car. We could just get by. Haven't taken the train in a while. I love New York. But yeah, like you could see, I feel like, some places are giving stickers. We got a little mini candy bar from somewhere. You can sign up to, I don't know, some sort of martial arts classes. And of course, cornhole. Once I learned about cornhole, which was about, I would say, 10 years ago, I started seeing cornhole everywhere. And I gotta say, super fun. I'm a fan. You guys nailed it. It's like easy enough where you could just start playing, and fun enough where you could win. Like, it's just, or like even not winning, you're still kind of like at ease. It's almost like bowling with less work. So, and then that's the end of this. This was the rest stop. You had options of bathroom. The one thing that sucks about New York in general is the bathroom availability. So the bathrooms for Summer Streets was porta potties. And not those fancy ones you find in some weddings, which like I'm super duper impressed with. But and it sounds like an oxymoron, fancy porta potties. If you've been in one, oh my goodness, it's so good. These were like regular porta potties, just gross. You have to hold your breath. You're looking at everything that everybody did the whole day, and you just need to be grateful for it. So this is the end of this Summer Street rest stop. And does it go to the next Summer Street rest stop? No? Doesn't look like it. I don't know. The other one had like actually less things than this. Mostly it was for children with things like crayons and little are you saying something? I'm listening into our conversation. But I think in terms of like the thought that they gave to the Queens people, I'm gonna give a thumbs down, because I feel like they picked a neighborhood that's already fantastic for walking and biking, and instead they clogged it up, Maybe I'm not saying I want people to be inconvenienced in order to have fun, but it just wasn't that special. You gotta love bubbles. I totally get why kids flip out over bubbles. Now, does this look fun to you all? I think it's always fun that people get together. I think it's fun to be outside. I think if you were really looking for one of these things, maybe a helmet or somebody to talk bike to, this is so nice. The kids get like chalk and markers and whatever. And I know you have that at home, but how nice is it that your neighbors are out? And look at that, Ninja for Kids to the left. Exercise is getting real and real early. Like, kids are doing ninja stuff as little kids. Oh, look at the inline skater. That was me at first. And this is the water system. You can see it's hooked up to the fire thingy. What's that called? That you can't park next to. Oh my God, I'm forgetting the word for that. You guys get it. Anyway, that I think was the best part, considering that people will need water. Hooking it up to, oh my God, I still can't remember the word for it. And, yeah, giving us water. So here Xerxes was filling up the water bottle. And I think that's it. Like, we're just going to keep walking through this, which is mostly the same. So I'm going to pause that right here. Or maybe you just want to watch this person continue to try. I think it's a great effort. And what's weird about inline skating is you'll get it, and it'll switch over. It won't be like, it'll be like all of a sudden you get the mechanics of it and you could start riding. So she's this close to learning how to do it. So yeah, so this is us trying something new, putting me in this thing. What do you think? Look at this. What? We get to be in New York together. I want to go to other places and show you and let you listen in. Can you tell me what would make this better? What you liked about it? I'm trying to pause when people talk, but I don't know if anyone could really understand it. But yeah, so this is my first time, so I'd love to hear comments about it. I'll try to take more video, more pictures, and just kind of like let you in on this that I get to see. It sounds like a video game, and I don't even play those video games, but you sort of see them in commercials. Anyway, we'll end on the NYPD, right? Thanks for coming with me on this ride. Oh, I don't know why this guy was like lifting up his leg.
Okay.
Oh no, we're ending on this. This was the other rest stop that we saw. To the right, we just saw an art piece. Why is she talking every time I start talking? So we started with an art piece, and this is just helpful. Like, I'm sure you can find water somewhere here, but I did not see any water stations here, but I can't. I can't imagine that they're not providing toilets and water at this rest stop, though. Helmet stuff. Look at that cool bike. Ooh. I think I just admired the garbage bike. But it's a cargo bike. It's really cool. There's so many different bikes out now, and e-bikes and pedal assist and ones where you can have multiple kids on it. That makes me nervous, but how fun is that? And that's it.
Cool. Is this the end? Looks like it's the end. Thanks.
There it is. Okay, so Summer Streets 2026, just another one of the adventures that I'm going to try to make sure that we go on while it's still summer. Thank you for listening and clicking all the buttons. I did it. Look what we did. Okay, bye.